Hey friends, on today's podcast, I'll be going over a Neon Revolt article entitled "When I Was 18, People Called Me," and he's referring to Barack Hussein Obama. If you're unfamiliar with Neon Revolt, I suggest going to neonrevolt.com and check out every one of his articles as he takes an extensive look into Q and the Q phenomenon. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll check back with you here real soon. Hey friends, on today's podcast, I'll be going over a Neon Revolt article entitled "When I Was 18, People Called Me," and he's referring to Barack Hussein Obama. If you're unfamiliar with Neon Revolt, I suggest going to neonrevolt.com and check out every one of his articles as he takes an extensive look into Q and the Q phenomenon. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll check back with you here real soon. Hey friends, on today's podcast, I'll be going over a Neon Revolt article entitled "When I Was 18, People Called Me," and he's referring to Barack Hussein Obama. If you're unfamiliar with Neon Revolt, I suggest going to neonrevolt.com and check out every one of his articles as he takes an extensive look into Q and the Q phenomenon. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll check back with you here real soon. Hey friends, in front of me I have the second article that came out today by Neon Revolt on June the 20th, which is today. So it's entitled "When I Was 18, People Called Me, #NewQ, #QAnon, #Great Awakening." I'm glad I held off on publishing this, not only to see what Q added, but what Anons could dig up. And there is a lot dug up in this podcast and in this article, so I hope you're ready. And boy, oh boy, is there a doozy at the end of this article. Stick around. Don't wait, get reading. Picking up where I left off last night. Post 1557, Free Iran, fight, fight, fight. Regime change, people have the power. We stand with you, Q. Free Iran. Goodbye, communists. Iran's regime on the brink as protests grow. The regime is unlikely to be able to withstand long-term domestic, regional, and global pressure. Protests are continuing to grow across Iran, even as the regime in Tehran attempts to crush them. The demonstrations are increasing at a time when the leadership of the Islamic Republic is struggling to adapt to its newly reduced status after U.S. President Donald Trump withdrew the United States from the 2015 Joint Collective Plan of Action JCPOA, nuclear deal between the regime and the P5+1 group of nations, with President Trump imposing the most severe sanctions to date against the Ayatollahs over their nuclear program and the regime's malign activities in neighboring countries and sponsorship of terror, which have undermined security, stability, regionally and globally. The regime has lost the geopolitical power it gained under its predecessor, Barack Obama, the originator of the JCPOA agreement, which was widely viewed as his legacy deal. The people are starting to rise up against their masters, in quotations, hopefully and finally undoing decades of CIA interference and blowback. 64 years later, CIA finally releases details of the Iranian coup. New documents reveal how the CIA attempted to call off the failing coup, only to be salvaged at the last minute by an insubordinate. I've always felt so badly for the people of Iran because everything in that nation collapsed after the Islamic Revolution, and they were put under a brutal system of ostensibly religious control. After all, Islam, the religion of peace, means submission. Hopefully the good people of Iran will free themselves from this death cult. Yeah. Life under the Shah. What Iran looked like before Islamic Revolution. And this is what it looked like before. Honest to God. So these fascinating photos of Iran before 1979 reveal just how similar the country was to the Western nations that are now its enemies. Regime change is coming to Iran. Let's pray it happens quickly and peacefully as possible. All right, so let me blow this up so you guys can see it. There we go. June 30th, this is from yesterday, 6/19. On June 30th, the world will see an alternative Iran. What's often missing in discussions of Western policy on Iran is the role of the Iranian people and their desires. A comprehensive policy must, before all else, take into consideration events on the ground in Iran, or else it would yet again fail to address one of the most crucial foreign policy issues of recent times. The wave of protests, which started at the end of the year and continued through the new year, shook not only the regime in power, but the entire world. The people of Iran poured onto the streets across the country, rejecting the clerical regime in its entirety. Chants of death to Khamenei and Rouhani and reformist hardliners, the game is over, left no doubt that the people of Iran want regime change and nothing short of that. The people called for a republic and free Iran. To the surprise of many Iran experts in government in the West, the core of the people on the streets, over 140 cities, were the same sector of society which were wrongly thought to be power base of the clerical regime. Indeed, the entire nation is demanding regime change. On June 30th, 2018, Iranians from across the world, freed from the yoke of the mullahs, will join in Paris in an extraordinary event, Free Iran, the Alternative. Tens of thousands are expected to participate in the gathering. Each Iranian attending the rally represents dozens, if not hundreds or thousands, of brave Iranians inside the country who are protesting the regime change. The event has already been publicized inside Iran through social media, and messages of support for the event are coming from civil society. The people of the Iran see the June 30th event as an echo of their own cry for freedom. The annual gathering of Iranians in previous years has drawn some 100,000 participants. However, this year's event, given the domestic situation and international developments, is unique. The event heralds the dawn of freedom for the people of Iran and an end to nightmare of spread of Islamic fundamentalism and instability in the region. This event is also unique because in the midst of partnership on both sides of the Atlantic, dignitaries, politicians, and lawmakers from both sides of the aisle will join each other to support the Iranian people in their dream and desire for a free and democratic Iran. Americans and Europeans, Democrats and Republicans, conservatives and Christian Democrats, as well as social democrats and socialists will address the rally along with representatives of Iranian communities. Last year, more than 500 international dignitaries attended the gathering, including former Prime Minister, government officials, and members of parliament. They included the former French Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bernard Kouchner, the former President of Germany's Bundestag, Rita Swissmuth, and the former UK Minister of Northern Ireland from Europe, as well as Ambassador John Bolton, Senator Joe Lieberman, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, Governor Ed Rendell, and former U.S. Speaker Newt Gingrich from America. The Free Iran gathering of June 30th, 2018 will present to the world an alternative to the mullahs regime for future free and democratic Iran. 1558, the post from yesterday from Q. D-Class, LP, Lisa Page, Viva la Resistance. Viva versus Vive, so that's French versus Spanish. JC, James Comey or James Clapper. Why classified by Intel Communications at highest level. Defined title, defined role with Mueller. Exchange Shelters, very senior member Q. So now the Melanie tweet finally makes sense, which is here. Great to have our incredible First Lady back home in the White House. Melanie is feeling and doing really well. Thank you for all your prayers and best wishes. Come on, do you really think Trump doesn't know how to spell his own wife's name? Do you really think he hasn't added Melania to his default dictionary? This was purposeful. As for the Viva la Resistance message, it was disclosed in the IG report. Viva la Resistance, FBI anti-Trump message give President more deep state fodder. FBI employees discussed their views of Trump and what they thought were private messages. Some later joined the Mueller investigation. Good Lord. The third exchange we identified was on November 22nd, 2016. FBI attorney Number 2, sent an instant message to FBI Attorney 1 commenting on the amount of money the subject of an FBI investigation had been paid while working on the Trump campaign. FBI Attorney 1 responded, in quote, "Is it making you rethink your commitment to the Trump administration?" FBI Attorney 2 replied, "Hell no," and then added, "Viva la resistance," in quotes. FBI Attorney 1 responded that Trump was, in quote, "going to eliminate all of our pensions in order to pay for people like the person discussed in the instant message exchange," and FBI Attorney 1 and FBI Attorney 2 then began a discussion of federal pension and retirement issues. Some more choice messages from FBI Attorney 2. Among the general discussion of political issues by FBI Attorney 2, we identified 3 instant messages exchanges that raised concerns of potential bias. The first of these exchanges was on October 28, 2016, shortly after Comey's October 28th letter to Congress that effectively announced the reopening of the mid-year investigation. FBI Attorney 2 sent similar messages to 4 different FBI employees. The timestamps of these messages are included below. The messages stated, Employee 1, "I mean, I never really liked the Republic anyway." Employee 2, "I mean, I never really liked the Republic anyway." Employee 3, "As I have initiated the destruction of the Republic, would you be so kind as to have a coffee with me this afternoon?" Employee 4, "I'm clinging to small pockets of happiness in the dark time of the Republic's destruction." FBI Attorney 2 described these messages as reflecting his surprise and frustration that the FBI, in quote, was essentially walking into a landmine in terms of injecting itself in the kill box into the election at the late in the process. FBI Attorney 2 continued, "Just to be clear, the Viva la Resistance message that was sent to Lisa Page from a heretofore unidentified FBI attorney only known as FBI Attorney 2. Alright, so we get a tweet from Matt Gaetz. Who is FBI Attorney 2? Why was he texting other FBI officials? Viva la Resistance. While working for Mueller as the primary FBI lawyer, did Mueller really recruit out of the resist movement at the FBI? Witch hunt from the beginning. So who is FBI Attorney 2? Kevin Kleinsmith. Evildoer, right? Kevin Kleinsmith and Sally Moyer outed as FBI anti-Trump agents in Clinton investigation Mueller probe. As for Killbox JC, take it away, Anon. John Carlin. John P. Carlin, let me blow it up a little for you real quick. John P. Carlin is the acting assistant attorney general for national security at the Department of Justice, DOJ, a position he has held since March 2013. In addition, he has been the principal deputy assistant attorney general and chief of staff of the National Security Division since 2011. From 2007 to 2011, here we go. He served in leadership roles as the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, ultimately serving as the chief of staff to FBI Director Robert Mueller III. A career federal prosecutor, he served in 2007 and national coordinator of the Computer Hacking and Intellectual Property Program within the DOJ Criminal Division. No wonder Rosenstein made sure that was redacted. 1559, we go all the way down. Sample, why so much attention? So I went over this. This is 2 articles, Daily Beast and Vice, basically saying the Q phenomenon is nothing but a conspiracy theory and to not pay attention to it. First, here's the image Q linked to. Right here. Trump conspiracy, QAnon theory. Coordinated, all for a LARP. Attacks will only intensify. Ask yourself why Q. And here are the 2 news reports. QAnon, the crazy pro-Trump conspiracy, melts down over OIG report. Melts down? Really? Then we see the picture of Trump. This is usually the front of just what QAnon stands for. The storm. A guide to QAnon, the new king of the right-wing conspiracy theories. George Soros, the Illuminati, and the Snow White are all controlling the world, according to a 4chaner who has spawned a legion of super sleuths Who or what is QAnon? Just asking that question sucks you into the world that's like Pizzagate on bath salts, a galaxy-brained 4chan bred conspiracy theory that has apparently convinced an alarming number of adults that all kinds of preposterous things are true. This is making me so mad, I'm going to be honest. You know, for the most part, the Mockingbird media wants to avoid talking about QAnon. Why? Because they don't want to give it any more attraction. However, there comes a point where they can't ignore it anymore and they have to start spinning up their machinery in order to actively discredit it. We're at the phase right now, but I think it's coming a little too late in the game for it to be effective. Take this for the first article. The sign that armored truck driver held up on the bridge appeared to reference the idea promoted by QAnon that Trump possesses another OIG report that would bring down his enemies once and for all. The second report supposedly proves the FBI, the Justice Department, and top Democrats broke laws and attempted to stop Trump from winning the presidency. Now Trump just has to release it, QAnon says. Okay. And what's this Mockingbird going to say once Trump really does release the other OIG reports? Pro tip, it doesn't matter, because the reader of these kinds of articles doesn't care about the facts and details. They care about feeling smarter, more informed about those around them, content in their smug self-satisfaction. They won't go back and reread this once the new versions of the report come out. They'll just go, hey, that's that crazy 4chan conspiracy theory, QAnon. Wait until the likes of Stephen Colbert and John Oliver get the go-ahead to start talking about Q. So 1560 we see JC underscore with the extra P in the twat equals JPC. What a coincidence. Anons figured out who JC in the kill box was referencing by looking at Trump's tweet this morning with an extra P at the end. And I went over this. I can't think of something more concerning than a law enforcement officer suggesting that they're going to use their powers to affect an election. Inspector General Horowitz on what's going on with the numerous people regarding my election. A rigged witch hunt P right here. So we look down, hashtag no coincidences. 1561, what is a coincidence? Q. What is this? What should we know? First things first, I backed up the video Q links to here on my Gab channel. So this is it right here. I don't know if it's going to play. Okay, yeah. I played this for you guys, so no need. This is basically the woman saying that was in the first picture. She has the ring on. Miss Jackson Lee, she's a chairwoman, and she's talking. She basically blurts out that Rod Rosenstein is going to be arrested on Friday. Yeah, fire RR on Friday. How did she know? Secondly, that Texas Democratic Representative Shirley Jackson Lee, that's her. Spoiler warning. She says in the video that Republicans are planning on firing Rod Rosenstein this Friday. Q has not told us that. None of the Anons knew that. The only possible way she could have known these spoilers was if it was leaked to her. However, big caveat, this might be intentional disinfo. And what's disinfo used for? Sometimes it has to be used, right? If the good guys are trying to round up and kick out all leakers, someone might have intentionally given bad intel to someone they suspected of being a leaker. Someone who potentially works on one of those subcommittees Representative Jackson Lee worked on. And they, in turn, leaked that bad intel to the Representative Lee, thinking it was true. Trump may have no intention of firing Rod Rosenstein. In fact, given their 2.5-hour meeting at the White House, I very much doubt this is the case. But the Dems are in absolute panic mode right now, trying to throw up whatever they can to try and stop what's coming. They're getting sloppy and making very public mistakes. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I believe this was a setup, and she took the bait. God, look at his face. A rodent. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee alleges GOP plot to oust Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein on Friday. Republicans have a plan to oust embattled Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein on Friday as a part of a concerted effort to undermine the Russian probe. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee claimed in a surprise outburst that brought a congressional hearing to a temporary halt on Tuesday. All right, so post 1562 is talking about leaving out a very important text message due to a glitch. This is the level of corruption we are dealing with. The American people are not stupid. Horowitz explained some of the major technical hurdles they had to jump over in trying to recover all these texts yesterday during the IG hearing. If I recall correctly, this was about the one text in particular where Strzok says they'll stop Trump, a damning text which proves animus. It was very evident that the FBI had made effort to obfuscate and erase these texts. However, they were able, after contacting a vendor and going through 3 other processes, to find a database deep within the phone where the missing messages were stored. Evidently, the FBI didn't even know this database existed. According to Horowitz, otherwise it would have been erased as well. It's bleach bit all over again. So 1563, we move on. Well, let me just say something about this real quick off the record, off of this article. Evidently, the FBI didn't even know this database existed, according to Horowitz. So that's what I'm saying. Is Horowitz on our side? I think he is. I'm leaning towards yes, but this is obviously, they're using NSA intel or NSA capabilities so that they can dig deep into these databases. Obviously, that might be apparent, but whatever. What a wonderful day. And then we see this picture. I said it was George Soros. I was wrong, but I think a lot of people thought it was George Soros, so I'm not the only one, right? We see this here, another picture, a close-up. Forget almost 5 hours of madness with Anons trying to figure out who was in this pic. Yes, there was a file name, and that was kind of a giveaway, but there were lots of theories and lots of images flying around for hours. But Q finally settled the debate. This was after I posted my video. Come on, Q, who is it? This is the Al photo all over again. A lot happened today, and Anons are focusing on a damn blurry photo of some old man. Ended already. He replies, 45, the president. If you need more proof, boom. There we go. Cool. This becomes the central question then. An anonymous posted, so did Q get real close to 45 to take a picture, or did Q pull this from someone that should not have had it? Anon had a theory. Here's a theory. Let's say it is POTUS from his iPhone he uses to tweet. What if the clowns hacked it to eavesdrop to learn about firing Rod Rosenstein this Friday, which lovely Miss Jackson let slip earlier today? Is this photo proof bad actors have been eavesdropping on POTUS? Another Anon expands. Q post concerning the senator that knew POTUS had 2 phones, and SJL who knew that Rod Rosenstein is to be fired Friday, so that's the Jackson Lee. Premise, POTUS always knew they were monitoring him. Cleaned the White House, cleaned leakers, left iPhone open intentionally, another trap. How did they know he had 2 phones? POTUS told them. He had talked with Kim personally over the phone. They didn't know, and figured out that he has a second phone. POTUS told someone on open iPhone Rod Rosenstein was to be fired Friday. They heard this, and then Jackson Lee revealed it. Earshot of POTUS is their capture of this call. Q team is swiped the pic from them. Phone picture theory. 619. POTUS has 2 phones, one for calls, one for Twitter. Twitter phone is comped. Q asked us how did the senator know POTUS had 2 iPhones. They knew, as they have comped POTUS's Twitter phone, probably assisted by @Jack Dorsey from Twitter. Q post images of POTUS from Twitter phone showing the cabal that they are busted. Q waiting for us to work it out. @Jack, looks like you're busted. Right, yeah, so they're still they're spying on the president. The only thing I'm curious about then is the significance of what a wonderful day marker means. Q has used it 4 times in the past 6 days. My favorite theory is that it's a part of the code the cabal uses to communicate out in the open on platforms like Twitter. Think back when Q disclosed the fact that the Pope used the word concrete as a code word. George Bush, it's a wonderful day in Maine. In fact, nice enough for a parachute jump. And that's senior. John McCain, what a wonderful day at my son Jack's wedding. in which case Q is talking directly to them, mocking them yet again. The other theory would be that it's a phrase to look out for, either in upcoming POTUS tweets or one of his speeches. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see both theories come true. Again, here's another picture from the side. 1565. Q doubles down on here on the proofs by posting another picture, and right about then, Anons noticed the timing of Q's posts and Trump's tweet. So we look here, 619, 2216, which is 1016, and then 1017. So what a coincidence. Twitter shot in the Oval Office, and next a tweet. 1 minute Delta. Conspiracy? Q. Do you believe in coincidences? Expect more. Great awakening. I mean, how much more proof do you need that Q is real? Come on, people. Oh my God, this is so exciting. All right. So 1566 post from June 19th. Donald Trump verified account at Real Donald Trump, following at Real Donald Trump. More. Earlier today at Flotus, Melania and I were honored to welcome King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain to the White House. 7:17 p.m. 19th June 2018. What a coincidence. Twitter shot in the Oval Office. Next tweet. No coincidences. Q. Wow, even the 17s and all of that. 7:17, 17 seconds afterward. Oh my God. All right. 1 minute Delta. Conspiracy. Q. Conspiracy no more. And this should surprise no one. Just remember what Q said 5 days ago. We'll inspect review. Marine One proofs forthcoming. Air Force One inside thereafter. More and more Q. Q is going public. 8chan is going to be flooded with normies awaiting drops very soon. The media is starting to ramp up its conspiracy attacks, and the proofs are there to combat it. I'd keep my eyes peeled for these other proofs, which are already scheduled on the clock. We look down here. This is from an anonymous. Where we go one, we go all. I'd go even if I had to leave early and walk my ass there, laugh out loud. Thank you for your service. God bless and stay safe. Godspeed. Oh, and by the way, before we go, we found Hussein's third grade photo from Indonesia right here. So we see it. A bit more digging on Barry's grade 3 photo. Barry is third from the right on the row 3 in a group of boys wearing berets. Seems he was scouts of sorts. Not entirely sure what this photo means, but when we started discussing it last night, the shills came out which suggested that digging around this photo will lead to something. Maybe it is one of the other people who is important in some way, hidden connection or something like that. Barry. Right there. That's his real name, Barry. Right there, Barry. It means he was required to be an Indonesian citizen at that school and never repatriated to the U.S. after this. Sotero is literally an illegal alien. Wow. So yeah, the full size is on there. I'll give you another look. That's it right there. That's him. So Sotero, the Indonesian Muslim illegal immigrant, confirmed. When I was 18, people called me Donald Trump. When he was 18 at Barack Obama, he was Barry Soweto. Weird. Oh my God, that was from 2012. That gets me. It's very funny. So that's the end of it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found it informative and you just enjoyed it, then please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up and please share my video. Also, all foot traffic. All this hard work that Neon Revolt does, I'm sending all the foot traffic to him. Please go to neonrevolt.com. Check out all of his stuff there. Donate to his Gab account because this guy goes in depth. As you can see, man, he is awesome. Also, I have a Patreon account if you would like to donate to me. I would really appreciate it. And all the donations go to merch. I will pay for the shipping. So I'm just waiting for an accumulation of money so that I can start making these hats and t-shirts for you guys. Alright. Also, I have a second account, True Reporting 2.0, just in case something happens to this. I appreciate all of the support. I really do. I love you guys. And I hope you love each other. Take care. And we'll talk to you soon. Alright. Bye.